The following is not considered legal advice. If you have legal questions, please consult a licensed attorney.
Here's a simple example of a lien. Steve, a general contractor, builds a roof for $15,000. Vicky, the owner of the building, does not pay Steve. Steve, the general, files a mechanic's lien with the county recorder's office. Vicky, the owner, would have to remove the lien before she could sell the building. In order to remove the lien, Vicky, the owner, would have to pay the $15,000 or fight the lien in court.
Here is a complex example of a lien. Vicky, an owner, hires Steve, a general contractor, to build a $250,000 house with a written contract. Steve, the general, signs a written contract with Emily, the subcontractor, to build part of the house for $50,000. Emily, the sub, signs a written contract with Local Depot to supply $30,000 worth of lumber.
Let's review the contracts. Vicky, the owner, has a written contract with Steve, the general. Steve, the general, has a written contract with Emily, the sub. Emily, the sub, has a written contract with Local Depot, the lumber supplier. Vicky, the owner, does not have written contracts with Emily, the sub, or Local Depot, the supplier. She has never met them and knows nothing about them.
6 months has gone by and the house is finished. Vicky, the owner, pays Steve, the general contractor, $250,000. Steve, the general contractor, pays Emily, the subcontractor, $50,000. Emily, the subcontractor, does not pay Local Depot. Local Depot files a lien at the county recorder's office. Vicky, the owner, removes the lien by paying an extra $30,000 for lumber that she already paid for when she paid Steve, the general. Vicky, the owner, ended up paying $280,000 for a $250,000 house.
The lien laws create a problem. Either the owner pays twice or the supplier does not get paid at all. Either way, someone loses $30,000 through no fault of their own. The state of Utah created a tool to help Vicky, the owner, know who is working on her house and verify that everyone gets paid. This Utah tool is a website called the State Construction Registry, or SCR. Utah requires everyone working on Vicky's house to promptly list their information on the website as part of the Vicky's House project. Liens can be avoided when the website is used correctly.
Here is how the website works. Vicky, an owner of some land, hires Steve, the general contractor, for $250,000 to build a house. Steve, the general, visits the website and adds Vicky's house as a new project. Steve, the general, hires Emily, the sub, for $50,000. Emily, the sub, visits the website and adds her name to the Vicky's House project. Emily, the sub, hires Local Depot to supply lumber for $30,000. Local Depot visits the website and adds their name to the Vicky's House project. During construction, Vicky, the owner, visits the website and sees that Emily, the sub, and Local Depot are the supplier now working with Steve, the general contractor, to build her house. Now, Vicky can actively control the flow of her money.
At the end of the job, when Vicky pays Steve, the general, she can make sure 3 checks are written. $200,000 to Steve, the general, $20,000 to Emily, the sub, and $30,000 to Local Depot, the supplier. Vicky, the owner, paid exactly $250,000 for her house. Steve, the general, is paid, Emily, the sub, is paid, Local Depot, the supplier, is paid. Nobody files a lien because everyone was paid.
The SCR website gave Vicky, the owner, useful information to better manage her money before it was all paid out.